I'm mad at Disney, they tricked me, had me wishing on a shooting star. But now I'm 20-something, I still know nothing about who I am and what I'm not. So call me a pessimist, but I don't believe in it. Find it true as kisses blow. 'Cause I felt sad love, I felt bad love. Sometimes happy love turns into giving up. I felt held love by the word love. What the hell is love supposed to feel like? What the hell is love? What the hell is love? What the hell is love supposed to feel like?
Good morning, APA. This week's assembly is on women in science and modern scientists. In the pictures here, we can see some of these famous women scientists. Gladys West, a mathematician who had a huge role in GPS technology. Mae Jemison, an astronaut and doctor. She was the first African-American woman in space. And Rosalind Franklin, a scientist instrumental in the discovery of DNA structure, which has led to many advancements in the science field. The value we are focusing on this week is value 2. The courage and ambition to unlock your future potential. Thinking about how we can unlock our potential and potentially follow in the footsteps of many scientists that we will look at today. The British value we are focusing on this week is mutual respect for and tolerance of those with different faiths and beliefs, and those without faith. It is especially important in the last 2 days of term that we show each other this mutual respect. This week's quote is from the religion Buddhism. The past is already gone. The future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live. Again, we need to think back to our value, and we need to think about how we can unlock our future potential to follow in the footsteps of many before us. In the past 2 weeks, many of you may have read about this great achievement by these two scientists. Emanuela Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna have won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work on DNA. It is the first time this prize has been awarded to a solely female team. Their revolutionary technique that edits DNA has been used for the last 8 years to advance scientific treatments and the discovery of diseases. It has already helped in the testing of COVID-19. Both scientists are incredibly proud of their work. However, they have sent a message to all females. I wish that this will provide a positive message, specifically for young girls who would like to follow in the path of science, and to show them that women in science can also have an impact with the research they are performing. This is not just for women, but we see a clear lack of interest in following a scientific path, which is very worrying. Amazingly, this year, another female scientist has won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Andrea Ghez, along with her 2 male colleagues, has been the first woman in 55 years to be awarded the prize in physics. This is for their work on the black hole. She is only one of 4 women to be awarded the prize in this field. We should see these women in science, and we should be striving to be like them. They are sending us a message that there is a place for women in science. We can see from the data below that science does not have equality. The majority of people within the scientific field are males. The number for females remains pretty steady, and we need to see an increase in this. We don't just need to see an increase for diversity quotas. but for the future of innovation. Some early teams of engineers who worked on the designs for the seatbelt modelled their data on the average male body. At the time, this brand new product, which is now compulsory in this country, actually ended up killing women and children who were involved in accidents because their differing bodies hadn't been taken into account. We need the female perspective in order to make sure these scientific advancements are benefiting the whole of society. In the next few slides, we will look at some of the reasons as to why there may be fewer women in science. Let Toys Be Toys found that 10 times as many stores promoted toolkits to boys than to girls. Construction toys were 3 times as likely to be promoted to boys, and twice as many stores promoted chemistry sets to boys as to girls. Since when were science toys just for boys? Why is this important? If children are playing with these toys from a young age, it helps with their brain development. Construction and science toys develop spatial and problem-solving skills. Key skills needed for a scientist. If girls don't play with this type of toy, then they are unlikely to be as strong as boys in this area, and their left side of the brain is not as developed. Besides the effect on brain development, there is a question of gender stereotypes. Undoubtedly, children are heavily socialised by gender, and gendered toys can send some very limited messages. Reshma Saujani, founder and CEO of Girls Who Code, says that sticking with it is something girls need to be encouraged to learn. We have to rethink the way we raise our girls, Saujani says. Boys are pushed to take risks and girls are not. We should all be taking risks. In lessons, we should be pushing and striving to always get the answer, whether we know it or not. Making mistakes is the only way we can progress. So we all need to be willing to take those risks. At the beginning of this year, Ms. Cisse took a group of Year 11 students to International Women's Day. They spent the day at Imperial College and they were introduced to some fantastic women scientists and engineers. Throughout the day, they heard about how and why they do their research, and some of the stories that they had to overcome in order to be women in science. Ms. Cisse says, "It was a valuable and inspirational trip that highlighted the magnificent work women have done and are still yet to do in science." Of course, not all scientists are females. One of the modern scientists, Sir David Attenborough, has recently produced a programme called A Life on Our Planet. Many of you may have seen this on Netflix, and if you haven't, I recommend that you do watch it. Two quotes that stuck out with me when watching this clip are shown below. Please pause the video and watch the clip. Remember, if we act now, we can put it right. We need to follow in the footsteps of these famous scientists, and we need to change our world for the better. Have a lovely half term and stay safe.